There it is.
It did. We're live. Damn.
Why? Whoa. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this.
Spider-Ham does.
Spider-Ham. Okay. So, well, hey guys, and welcome to the
another episode of Ed's Retro Geek Out.
Yeah, featuring Grecofabulous and the fabulous Narkster in the house.
The Narkster in the house.
So, is everybody ready to get Grecked?
Oh.
Yeah.
It always comes when you're least expecting it.
That's true.
That's true.
Especially when you drop your kids off at daycare and it goes through your garage.
I was like, I hope they take this okay. Like,
yeah, it was fine.
Like in hindsight, like, oh, who's this weirdo?
No,
like
it was
rummaging.
funny.
At least I wasn't going through your like dresser drawers and stuff.
That's true. You might not want to do that.
No, probably would not. This probably would not be happening if it was.
Okay, so Boston Mike is here. Got Big Cat, John Bartley. So we're kind of like struggling to start with some people getting in, but I guess we're going to talk about.
Way to insult the audience already. You're like, oh, we only got these people. It's a struggle. This is the best we could do. That was your tone, Mr.
Really?
Host. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There it is. Whoa, never mind.
No, I was like we're waiting for the people to connect and
better people than that are already in okay. If it's your show, if that's how you want to run it,
that's how he wants to go.
Right.
I'm the one that usually gets the bad rap.
Okay, no, you're just trying to give me the bad rap now.
I didn't put the words in your mouth, but
okay, but we're gonna be talking about I guess toys, games, and how this whole thing is affecting our YouTube channel and our toy hunting and game hunting.
What thing? What thing are you talking about?
What thing? Well, I've been like on house arrest for the past 2 weeks. I don't know how it is over at you guys. So I've been stuck in my room for like 2 weeks. How's the situation in Texas?
So I'm still going to work, man. Like, we still got to work, which is fine. I mean, I'd rather be out there doing that than sitting around going crazy, probably like yourself.
I mean, I work from home. So
yeah.
Like now I work from home. Usually I go to an office. Now it's just like sitting in the same room.
Yeah. I kind of like going in. I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, it's kind of risky, but it's better than sitting around, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I'm lucky to still be employed. I just want to put that out there, and I know a lot of people aren't in that situation, unfortunately. So I'm definitely not going to complain about that. My employer was very proactive in being like, offices closed, like everybody can, work from home unless you absolutely have to be there. So there's definitely no pressure to be on site. But like Nark is saying, sometimes taking the risk is worth it, just to kind of get out of the house and return to some sense of normalcy.
Right.
So I too have ventured out into the open. I was trying to make a Fallout reference. What, the Wasteland? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So I ventured out there, and just because you kind of have to. But I'm taking precautions, obviously, washing my hands furiously, wiping down surfaces, everything I can, avoiding people.
They hurt from washing.
My hands are like dry, super dry.
I mean,
mine are so dry. No, I'm serious. It's all right. It's gross. Like, if we didn't have social distancing, I don't think anybody would want to come near me, anyways.
I had to go to the store to buy, groceries and toilet paper because we were actually out of toilet paper, and we had to like wait in line outside with the cart to get in today. So they were only letting like 100 people in.
Yeah, so we can totally go into our stores. Like, it's really calmed down a lot, so it's not an issue. Only thing I didn't find today was like toilet paper and Lysol, but everything else is there, so it was good.
So does like Walmart and stuff, do they have toys there? Or
yeah, speaking of, I picked up this guy today.
What?
Yeah, Rey Mysterio, Masters of the WWE. So I got him. But yeah, so that was cool. He still got toys.
That's such a cool spin-off of that toy line.
It is.
Getting wrestlers and Motu.
Yes, I cannot wait for the Origins line later this year. Hopefully that's still a thing, but we'll see.
We have like nothing of that coming out. Not even like the ring. I want that ring, and it's not within reach.
Yeah. Did he move?
Oh.
Did my buddy move?
I hope. If I'm going to get murdered on camera, I hope that at least we get more views out of it. I just hit. I want to be. Yeah, I mean, I want to be famous. But I'm hoping it's not post-mortem, but I'll take what I can get at this point. I did just pass the $100 threshold on Google AdSense. So another $107 check coming my way.
What? And you just released a new video today, so go and check it out.
So it's like
go and check it out.
This is like the best week of my internet life right here. Yeah. You can tell I'm getting excited because I got this huge forehead vein that comes down. That's why I can never play poker. It's just it's a total telltale sign. Yeah.
And Craig,
it ruined a lot of pictures. Here we go. You can't see my thoughts.
And Craig, you broke the 10,000 subscriber count.
See, senor.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
That's legit, and you still want to hang with us, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it in there?
Sweet tea and vodka. Yeah.
Ooh, vodka-tini at what is it, like 1 p.m. there?
2:22 in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? What else am I
I'm getting a tummy ache just hearing about that. Yes, I still get tummy aches, even though 35.
You got a tummy ache when you were here. Didn't you get a tummy ache? I think so. When we were at the arcade, or were you just exhausted?
It wasn't alcohol related. It was just weird. I don't know. I think
you shut down.
I think Retro Rick put something in my drink.
Oh, what's up, guys? Says Sprooch Game Hunting.
Hey,
what up?
Yeah. And Nerd Strategy goes, you guys still get those on the 13th of each month, the AdSense checks? I don't know.
I got mine 2 days ago.
I think
it depends when once you pass the threshold, and maybe it takes like a week or two after that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a set time. It ain't like the 1st and the 15th.
Yeah.
Right.
In my case, the first time was like after 2 years. That was pretty funny. But yeah, toy hunting.
Yeah.
How can you still toy hunt?
We used to do. No, we can't.
What is that? What's that?
Okay, like flea markets are closed. I was going online at like not Facebook Marketplace, but like this other online marketplace, and I actually found some skeleton warriors that I needed, so I bought them online.
Nice.
Now it's been like, I hope they come in at least like next week, or
I mean, technically you can record that.
You can send stuff, right?
You can send stuff, but you can actually, if you do like a internet toy hunt, you could technically record it, show where you found it, like how much. I mean, I think Mike Mercy does that. We're talking about him earlier, but I think he actually does that too, and it works. I mean, it's something, I guess. So that's
it's a different way of finding the stuff we want.
Yeah,
Patrick Valenti from Germany, just
Germany.
Hi, man. Marcello's Toy Room is here.
What's up, man?
Awesome.
Yeah, toy hunting. So it's a huge bummer because we had big plans this spring, summer. I mean, it's the weather's starting to get nicer. Like I was going to try to hit up more yard sales because that's kind of an area where I haven't really explored too much and have had a lot of luck in the limited run. I'm sure the more I do it, the less luck I'll have. But still, it would have been a fun way to spend like a Saturday or a Sunday with a buddy. Me and Sprooch, since you mentioned it, we were supposed to go down to like Connecticut. we're like the first day of a big flea market there, where we had
Nice.
some some good luck last time we were there. But obviously that got canceled, and we were able to squeeze in one last flea market run before this all kind of broke through, which I did film. So I guess luckily for me, since I'm so slow in releasing my content, I do have plenty of backlog. But we'll see if I have the time and motivation to actually make that into something. You would think, since I'm home, I would, but I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm definitely not making any promises. Um, if anything, it's more pressure to hang out with the friend, not the friends, the family.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, and so that's kind of a bummer. And then yeah, I'm seeing tons of things pop up on like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and I just it hasn't been. I just can't take the chance, honestly. Like, yeah, I'll venture out and I'll go food shopping and ship things out. When I sell things on eBay, but I just got to let everything else go, unfortunately. And it's too bad because like there's been some boxed Power Ranger stuff that is floating out there that I could grab. I missed out on a bunch of like GI Joe stuff. Um, there was some other, I think it's some Star Wars and like Pokemon cards, like a bunch of stuff that were made a lot of sense for me to kind of
Mhm.
go out there for my own collection and to recycle the hobby a little bit. And I just can't take the risk.
Yeah. Speaking of eBay, how are you doing on eBay during these times? Is it pretty good or?
Uh, I'm doing okay. I mean, I feel like I'm doing okay, but a lot like I think now is when I'll see if it actually affects me or not. It's not eBay was never something where I really depended on for like a steady source of income. The
Yeah.
influx recently has been pretty hot for me just because of all that like sealed GoBots lot. I threw all of that up on eBay.
Hmm.
Just because GoBot prices were really all over the place. So normally, what I like to do is kind of try it locally first. Like, I'll bring it to like the local toy shows that we set up at, just so we have a fresh table every time, and try to give good deals to my local buddies before I venture out beyond that. But with GoBots, it's such really if you look at sold listings, like the same figure will on one thing would sell for like over $100 and another one would sell for like 30. So there's no real rhyme or reason. So it was one of those things where it's almost like you take the reverse approach where you want to throw it on eBay to aim high to see if anybody will bite. And so far I'm gonna make a follow-up video just to because I know a lot of people were like, oh, that's kind of a lot of money to throw at GoBots when they saw the video about how much I paid for it. And I did get a lot of people that tried to buy me out like right away. Obviously, they were resellers, and I don't mind selling to resellers. I've worked with resellers before because I don't always look for top dollar. So I'll probably do a follow-up video just to show what exactly it went for in the end.
Hmm.
But I will say that I've already made a profit on it. So even though I spent like $700, I've already turned a profit, and I still have like over 40 figures left to sell.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
So, what's your eBay
that was a
store
fun one.
called? Marcel is asking, what's the name of your eBay store, Greco?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Grecofabulous.
Okay. There you go. But yeah, I think like
Next question.
a lot like
Hand
that.
down.
If you pop on like lots of these GoBots, you're gonna get lots of traction to that profile. And I think like if you throw other stuff on, it'll probably sell well too, or at least get more views
Mhm.
on there. So yeah. And then we have Modrian 86, who's in the process of moving because he or she lives in Sweden, and he's like, it's cool to like package things and rediscover things you have forgotten. That's the kind of thing you're going through right now too, Greco, right?
Yeah. So let me try to recollect my thoughts here. I have a lot going on. Yeah. So I mean, right now, what I'm showing you, I pretty much had to dig this out so I could have this background, but like literally right next to me are piles and piles of cardboard boxes and transformer boxes and loose figures, like a ton of stuff. Just because I literally got rid of a dresser that had clothes because I wanted to display more stuff, which is a totally adult thing to do. I'll find somewhere to like because how many shirts and pants does one man really need? Honestly, like I feel like I could live out of a suitcase and still be an adult. So I got rid of that because I wanted to display more of this stuff and just take it out of the closets and whatnot. And so I've just been rearranging things. And unfortunately, in my case, like my space is limited, so it's never going to expand really. It's just going to be reshuffling. So I took a lot of my loose Transformer figures. I bought some of those plastic blister packs, put them in there, put them in. I've been buying a lot of like plastic totes. So just putting them in there just so they're not loose and thrown all about. And then really like as I'm pulling out these Transformers and other toys, like I'm trying to really like dive deep into like what I want to keep, like what sparks joy for me. And I ended up with like a whole box of G1s that I don't really care about anymore.
Really?
And now that I'm getting more and more boxed ones, those are the
Okay.
kind of things I want to put on display. Not that I want to become like an exclusive, like, mint in box, sealed box kind of collector by any means, but I've been falling on some, I've had a good string of luck, and I kind of want to put that on
So
display.
did you rediscover any stuff you'd already forgotten? Oh, I had this, or not at all. You know
Uh,
everything you have.
no, definitely not. And that's another reason why I'm doing this is because I don't really have like a solid inventory of what's in my
Okay.
collection. So as I'm pulling things out, got the whole Google sheet going. So I am being a little more professional with my collection, just so I know exactly what I have. Because we kind of did the same thing with our reselling part of it. Like we finally got around to having an inventory. So when people ask us like, "Oh, do you have this like random part or figure?" We don't have to like try to go off memory and then dig through it. Like we'll actually know if we have it or not. So trying to take the same approach with my own collection. I'm trying to think of like a specific example of something like I totally forgot about. I had some like Pacific Rim figures that I kind of totally.
Okay.
What is that? Do you guys see that? Something keeps popping into my screen.
Is that the Buddy doll?
What is that?
I think it's a kid's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You gotta have both. You can't just do one.
So we have SNES Addict saying hi, Mike and Kelly from Orlando, Commander Dennis Hopton, Carlos Bali, and Tattoo Toy Hunter. I think he's also from Texas. He's a paramedic, so he has to go. He's shipping out to New York to go and help over there. So
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Good luck, and stay safe out there, buddy. What do we have here, guys? What's the price of a blister? So yeah, it depends on the figure, but I guess like some blisters are like 15 euros. I know for like carded TMNT figures, that's like at least 10 or 15. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends on the size of what you're trying to put in there, and then also where you get it from. So I'm kind of new to the whole blister pack thing. So I know for like carded figures, people have thrown around like ToyShield.com. That's the one that I keep hearing about. I haven't bought anything from them just yet, but I think for like I was looking at like Toy Biz X-Men kind of size ones, and I think that was like $4 and a few cents like per pack plus shipping. I'm assuming.
How
So I don't
many
think
are in
it's
a
like too
pack?
crazy. Oh, or sorry, maybe per
Oh, wow.
blister.
Because X-Men, Toy Biz X-Men is about $4 or $5. So,
But if you're talking about loose, I
You
mean,
mean like the figure? So
yeah,
you'd actually pay
just
more for the blister than the
yeah,
figure that goes
yeah,
in there?
yeah.
Here we have somebody from Sweden, Stife01. So yeah, Craig, have you changed anything in your display? Because I heard you talking about, hey, I went into my garage, I did some inventory on stuff I have TMNT wise.
Yeah, so actually, over here, it's all packed up. So when you guys were
Oh,
here,
really?
that with all the shelving and stuff, the white shelving, like all this stuff right over here, right there, all that is being packed up. So
Oh, you mean like the humanoids and stuff?
yeah, all that.
Oh no, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there, right there. But yeah, I'm starting to pack up some stuff. I think we may move in June. It just depends on all this craziness because we actually started packing like 3 weeks ago. And then all this stuff started, and we're like, well, crap, what do we do? Do we just hold on and, a little bit longer or what? So we're kind of in the middle of things. So kind of stressful that way too, because we're like, we don't know what's going to happen. And we just
how does that work? Like, is everything signed, sealed, delivered? Like, you already own, like it's yours, the other property, or?
Oh, no. We haven't. We haven't.
Okay. So you're like preemptively packing
Yeah.
Okay.
The wife is a little OCD, so she likes to get ahead of the game and be ready. So, we started packing way freaking early. Now all this.
Hey, don't you badmouth her? Okay, she brought us chicken and dumplings.
She did. She did.
Yeah, she is a saint.
So not to scare you guys, but
please invite me back.
Right.
But over here, you actually can go outside and use the car unless it's a needed transportation. So you can't even go and look at a house anymore over here now.
Wow. That's
great. The same thing is like I picked up a Lego lot yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go do it by foot because if I were to be driving around and the cops would, ask me, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to a store or do you need to get some medical things or something? No, I'm actually picking up Lego,
Legos. Yeah,
It could cost me like 250 euros.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How far was the walk?
Oh, it's like 8 minutes. It was okay.
But, so you're just like carrying boxes of Legos back to the house?
I did do that. But but I mean, like it has to be in your area because you can't like walk to get it. Because that's what you were talking about, Greco, like Facebook Marketplace. If you have to drive half an hour, you're not going to walk that, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
We're not. I mean, there's always rumors that it's going to get a little more strict, but at least here in Massachusetts, we're still not like on lockdown like that. It's they're calling it like shelter in place, so it's pretty much like it's just strongly. Well, I mean, now they have it so that like non-essential businesses can't be open, but I feel like it's pretty broad definition on what is deemed essential. Although I tried to order Chinese takeout last night and they were closed.
What?
So I don't think that's appropriate. That's a little bit of an overreaction.
Yeah, you could have had food for 3 weeks.
Yeah, those places are thriving right now here.
I immediately went to Yelp and left them a negative review. Like it's an American. That's what that is. They're not like keeping people in their houses. They're just like strongly encouraging it. But obviously, I hear other states around us. Like obviously, New York is like the epicenter of the United States, and they're not that far from us. So if it starts to kind of spread, I'm sure they'll kind of lock it down a little harder. I think so there was some state like Maine, or I think they're just like telling like people like stop coming up here for for your vacation homes, like stay where you are. We don't want none of your mess. So I'm trying to be personally responsible. I'm really limiting it to just like when we need food and water and when I make an eBay sale.
So, Greg, you're still gonna stay in Texas, right? If you move, or
oh yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to move maybe like 10 minutes away from where I'm at right now. So probably even super close. So
we need to hit up that garage sale again.
we will, man. Definitely do some attic invading.
It's really too bad because
oh man, I had been looking so forward to like this season.
Mm-hmm.
Just got the GoPro, the good mics and everything to just go over here and do garage sales and like later on drop by a flea market just to get more B-roll footage,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I was gonna say, it's too bad because again, not to be like an opportunist or like a total shark, but obviously some people need to find alternate sources of income during this time. So I feel like the product and the opportunity is gonna balloon up as far as like getting collections and whatnot. But is it something you really want to risk by going out there to grab it?
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody mentioned Michigan. Yeah. Marcelo. I'm supposed to go to Motor City Comic Con in May. It's kind of like my annual pilgrimage there. What is this? Apparently, my daughter's advertising Do you know I have a
There's
YouTube account?
account.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? She's already so subscribe to. Well, it's your real name. You have to come up with a username. I can't. No. Don't give your real name to these weirdos on the internet. You don't know the protocol yet. Yeah, these are all dumb Transformers people. You don't want them anyways. Yeah,
And, like the same thing. It's like Tattooed Toy Hunter says, like the early summer garage sale season. It was like starting this week, and it's not happening.
Yep.
And like every Toy Con has been canceled over here. Every retro gaming convention too.
Yep.
Like I also play shows. So I play guitar in bands, and everything's canceled, like postponed to 2021. So there's no income for me to buy toys with either.
I heard a rumor that your band lip syncs. Is that true?
Oh yeah, every band does that.
Yeah.
You just got wrecked.
Oh.
But yeah, but to finish my thoughts, so Motor City Comic Con not technically canceled, but it's in May, and I feel like the way the U.S. is trending, it's probably going to get canceled. And even if it doesn't, I'm probably not getting on that tin can flying.
Yeah.
Did you have anything coming up, Craig?
I had last weekend. I was supposed to be in Atlanta, and then I was supposed to be in Ohio the next day after that. So both of those got canceled. Dallas Comic Con got moved to June, so that got canceled. I was going to go to King County in Chicago. That got canceled. That was in April. And then next, hopefully PowerCon doesn't get canceled in August, so we'll see. So fingers crossed. So like literally half of the things I had planned for the year, done. Like just canceled, but that's everybody, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it stopped for everybody. It's so weird. It's so weird to have that, man. It's a weird situation, and like making YouTube content is even harder now.
Super hard. It's I mean,
like you said, you could potentially do the online buying thing, hunting thing, but how are you going to get it here if they're not shipping, or if it's like Facebook Marketplace you meet, like there's no certainty that the post office is still going to be working in a couple weeks here. So
they're talking about that too. I mean,
everything changes from day to day, so it's
every
really
day it's a new day.
Stressy. But you still have stuff coming out. You still have a backlog of videos, or how are you gonna?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. I am current. I'm actually going to shoot my 10K video tonight, so I have that, and I have a couple of ideas, but I have no backlog. Like my channel is toy hunts, and I can't do that right now. And if I put out like a unboxing video, like nobody wants to see that garbage. They want to see toy hunting. So those videos don't do well on my channel. So I literally have to be super creative in this time. And
I guess what you could do is do like a sort of what's in the box of like your garage, because I know we went in there and you were opening up boxes and going through it and being like, oh, I didn't know I had this. And I guess if you do that, like what's in box number one, and then just show whatever's in there and tell the story, that could be something. I guess
that could be. That's a good idea, actually. Because I'm like, oh, what do
I used to watch that a lot. Like there was this girl, and she would do like unboxing.
This
was like 8 years ago, and she would have like carded TMNT figures with all like the prices on there from her buying it in 1998. So I was going crazy. Yeah. No, yeah.
You should take your old videos, Craig, and edit them in reverse, so it looks like you're putting toys back in the store.
Dude, that's genius.
There you go.
Look how much money I got back.
I just scammed all these stores.
Gotcha. You got Greg's.
So apparently in Holland, like post office packages are getting like Christmas level busy, that there's so many people apparently sending out stuff in packages now instead of meeting up. So
Wow.
Patrice Lefay just said that in the chat.
I think Ted at Toy Hunter's onto something. We should just use the green screen and just make up toy hunts.
We could.
just
we could
totally
do
stage
that.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, Uber Hulk's in the house.
Ooh.
Oh, Uber
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash. That's what he does.
I haven't seen him yet, but I'm scared. Like, I haven't seen him in real life because he wasn't at Retro Blues last
So
time.
just wait for my 10K video. You're going to be pleasantly surprised.
I mean, I saw him in the video where he meets Cincy Nerd for the first time with Pixel Dan and stuff. That was freaking awesome.
That was good.
That's on Craig's channel, so check that out.
That was
what was it, like the toy show in February or January?
January. Yeah, that was Game Chasers like toy show or whatever.
Yeah.
That was Toy Expo.
For me, it's like I guess forcing me to be creative, doing like top 10 videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'd always wanted to do that just because, like, for me, if I go out toy hunting or retro game hunting, I always just spend too much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, I can't put out a video every week because then I'm gonna spend like 80 euros every week. So I was like, I'm gonna try top 10s and doing like the game room tours, which I also can't do because I can't go over to somebody's house now and film. So this weekend I'm filming my own game room tour, toy room tour. So yeah.
Sounds like it's gonna get a lot of views.
I don't know.
I think so. Those videos always do really good for you. Should be fine, dude.
Yeah. You ever seen One Man's Junk videos? I think I have. He does like flea market hunts, right?
That sounds familiar.
I don't want to Google it, but I'll take your word for it. Let's open up my search bar here.
Have y'all seen Boston Mike started a channel?
Yeah.
Have y'all seen that?
I have. I've been watching.
I did.
Regular viewer.
Good.
Big fan. It's a Narc production.
Yeah.
Starting a label, dude.
Oh man, are you gonna have more people on there?
No, that was a joke.
Okay.
Boston Mike, Uber Hulk, it'll be good. Good times.
Is it gonna be like the new what was it, like because you're with like one of those companies that sorts out stuff for YouTubers, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Google it. No.
But I forget if I mentioned this? I mean, since you're talking about what you were doing, like I don't remember if I mentioned this in the pre-live or not, but I have plenty of backlogged footage, so I will. There's the potential for new live hunting videos is out there for me. It's just whether it comes to fruition or not.
Yeah. Do you have like a lot of you have a lot of time now, or is it busy for you, Greco?
Time is relative. I don't know. I don't know what day it is, but I guess so. Yes and no. Again, like yes, because we don't really make plans. You know what I mean? We're not going to birthday parties. We're not do anything fun with the kids. I mean, we're lucky. We have a backyard. We got a trampoline. Life is good. I'm having having a lot of bouncing time over here.
How much time does it take you to edit like a video?
It really depends, like how fluid I guess the creative process is, and like how a lot of it really has to do with like my mood and temperament. Honestly, it's like, am I feeling like funny today? Are these like clever creative ideas? Although I don't know, I feel like my videos are less creative and less me and more just like, oh, let me just throw in like a YouTube clip here and there. Like that's where that sense of like humor comes from nowadays. It's not like me doing skits anymore. But it just ultimately boils down to the ability to like kind of craft a story and just like how if I'm feeling it or not, and having that kind of line up with again the actual time to edit and film. So that's why it can be kind of a struggle, honestly, sometimes.
But like just the edit, how long does that take you usually?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever.
How
This
about
is
you,
great.
Craig?
This is a great interview, huh?
Yeah. How about
I
you, Craig?
don't know.
Because you do it on your phone, right?
Yeah, I do everything on my phone. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Super fast for me. Like, I mean, I've been doing it for 5 years now. So if I get all the footage all together, and I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do, maybe an hour all in. Like maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
That's really fast. Like I feel like if and I wanted to kind of develop more of a structure to my videos so that not to make again, I don't want to be cookie cutter. Although it is. I mean, if people are fans of your channel, on one hand, it is nice that they get more of what they like and they can expect the same kind of format.
Mm-hmm.
So from a storytelling perspective, I would like I did like that the auction video that I did where, I have a mix of like I kind of take you through the process like you're actually there. Like I like that. I like oh I'm here. This is what I see. Here's my like immediate reaction and like and then here's like the actual like bidding war, at least in that scenario, and then here's like what I came away with. Like I like being able to show every part of that instead of like my video today, which it's unfortunate because it really is like potentially like a once in a lifetime haul. Like it's in a really one of my top,
Mm-hmm.
if not the top. And
Yeah, but you have like all the in-car footage, like kind of detailing, like how
yes,
do we
I've
feel
been doing
before.
more. I've
So
been
it's
doing
more of
more.
like a format base that you can come back to as a viewer.
Yeah, so I've been doing more of the in-car stuff, at least to kind of introduce things and talk about it after the fact. It's just for this last video, I'm missing that in the middle part where like it would have been awesome to show us like in the guy's house, like digging through the stuff, like talking the negotiation. I mean, luckily I'm a Boy Scout, so I'm always telling the truth. So like I literally told you every step of the way. I didn't make anything up. I didn't say like, I bought it for like pennies on the dollar when I really didn't. Like that's the thing. Like whether I make a good deal or not, I'm going to tell the truth because I do like people's reaction and I have been super fortunate to get like really screaming deals. And I don't do it to brag. I just do it to show people that it's like, it's possible. One day you can be like me.
Okay. So like for me, it's like 3 to 5 hours of editing for each video, at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Modrian asked like how much time a week do you put into your YouTube channels? For me, probably 16 to 20 hours, something like that, to put out 2 videos. So
I think it depends for me, like if it's a show that we go to or what kind of hunt. So if you go to a show that takes all day, I mean, you got that full day in and then editing and all of that. So I don't know. I think on average, probably a week for me, maybe like 5 to 7 hours, like all in, because I do about three videos a week.
that's crazy. 3
Yeah.
videos.
I mean,
they're also asking what phone do you use?
Oh, I have a iPhone XR. Yeah, XR, something like that. Yeah.
There you go, BC. Now you know. And Julian Belgium says, "Yo, Ed, howdy."
Look at you
I'm still figuring out how this stuff
look at
works.
you.
So, yeah.
This is profesh, man. This is legit.
Hey, I can press on stuff and it shows.
I'm
So
so honored
Carlos
to
says
be
you
on
should
this
film the guy's
groundbreaking
face when
show.
you outbid him, Greco.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Except I was by myself and I just like kept my head down as I was bidding. I didn't want any like
Yeah.
conversation. I
Your
didn't want to
camera,
rush.
you had it flipped up.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to make it obvious that I was filming because this is the first time I was ever in that particular auction house, and I didn't want to get kicked out.
Yeah,
People react differently to when they see the camera.
they do.
As Craig knows, almost being murdered in the middle
Yeah,
of nowhere.
that was last weekend. That's a true story. Like a guy
Could have been your last weekend.
could have been my last weekend and totally not worth it. So there wasn't crap there. This old redneck, he was like, "Hey man, I'm loaded. I got a gun." I was like, "Oh it was crazy, crazy."
But yeah, no, I mean that's definitely the kind of content I want to capture whenever the opportunity arises because I know as a viewer that's what I like to see. I like to see like I said, take us along, as much as you can for the ride, and because I know a lot of people aren't as fortunate as us to have like all these options in their area, when there's not a pandemic going around, so they
Mhm.
kind of live vicariously through it,
Yeah.
which is and the same thing for me. Like when I see other people's like awesome collections, I kind of live vicariously through them.
Right.
Nobody wants to be me.
What I found like really enjoyable now is to have like all the Texas videos
Hmm.
and like 3 months later look back at them because they're like memories for me. Like yeah, like for me it was really cool watching everything back because I had made like a playlist Eddie Goes to Texas and
Hmm.
it popped all your videos but also Cincy
Oh, that's
Nerd
cool.
and Rube the Great, every single one where I'm kind of in to make
Hmm.
it have sense for the channel.
That's awesome.
So put them all together, and what's cool is you see like different perspectives because you see
Hmm.
Craig's video, you see Greco's video, so they're all kind of like a different angle of the
Yep.
same story, which is actually pretty cool.
It is
Um,
cool.
so
It
yeah,
blows.
because um, like yeah, I mean they're I I kind of like film every hunt just to have like the memory of the adventure too, I guess.
Hmm.
So Modrian asked you all film with your camera or phone. For me, it depends on the situation. Now I have like a Canon EOS 250D I use for most stuff with a Rode mic. But if I'm hunting like at a garage sale, I just swing out the phone or use a GoPro. Like the Attic Invaders, live footage, it's all shot with our iPhones or
Yep.
whatever phones we use. Um, so yeah, that clears that up, I guess.
Yeah, I
Uh,
actually bought a very expensive camera last year. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna switch over, and I tried it like once or twice. I was like, no, can't do it. I mean, I'm just so used to this is super easy.
and
So
for the cons, you use like a gimbal,
I
right?
do. I have a
Yeah,
gimbal. It's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, helps out a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
Because
I mean throughout the history of my channel, like there's been you can see like the quality and it's kind of like wavered. Like I used to go all out, and this is before I did a lot of like the live stuff, but like my toy room footage used to be like super high quality because I used to use like DSLR cameras and blah 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 for that stuff and a bunch of like super sharp lenses. But then yeah, when you're out and about, you don't really want to be like carrying like a whole like production
No.
company on your back, and especially if you want to be a little more discreet. So the GoPro for me, like the having the chest mount works pretty well because I like that because I get to be hands free. I get to like be in the moment. I don't have to worry about holding anything up. And it kind of captures that first person point of view,
Yeah.
and you kind of forget about it after a while, which is kind of nice. And then yeah, the phone has come a really long way as far as like it's just so easy, and the quality is good enough that it just makes it kind of the
Yeah.
right choice in a lot of situations.
so we got another question. So guys, if you're watching and you want to ask a question, just leave it down in the comments there. I'll pop it on screen. So how do people react when you film them? What are your experiences with that?
I
When
mean,
you're trying to be sneaky.
yeah, right. I mean, for the most part, like if I'm at a toy show, I'll either ask or sometimes I'll just do it, but not get their faces in, just to be respectful. But yeah, I've had some backlash, but um, normally it's okay. Nothing too crazy except for last weekend.
Yeah, for me, so like at conventions and shows, I think it's especially if I'm just wearing the GoPro, I'm being very unobtrusive. Like I think people kind of expect it nowadays, so they don't
Hmm.
even ask. Every once in a while they'll ask, "Oh, what are you filming for?" And you kind of, I used to hide it, like when I went to go to flea markets and stuff. Like when I first started, I was very like aware of it and kind of nervous. So I used to like make up stories like because I used to have it like attached to like my backpack, and I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
I do like travel vlogs or like if I make like hiking videos, like but now if people ask, I'll actually tell them because they when you tell the truth and most people like react positively to it, like
Yeah.
they're vendors. Like they want to get the word out there, like especially if I'm buying stuff from them. Free advertising, they're like all about it. They almost feel like they're being part of a show.
Yeah.
Nobody's had like a super adverse kind of reaction to it. Only once somebody at the flea market was like, I don't want to be on camera, blah blah blah. So like I kind of used that to my advantage in the video. Like I edited like a one-sided kind of like negotiation, which is kind of interesting. But I mean, most people either just ignore it or they just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Say what's up?
Does your son have a YouTube channel he wants to promote while he's on? Or?
Hey, what's your YouTube channel? Yeah, he didn't. He's like,
for me, I've never really had like problems with filming, but I adapt like the way I film. Like when I'm at a convention and I'm usually filming because the convention asked or I had gotten permission, they kind of know like, okay, there's people filming. And in America, it was like every vendor wanted to be on tape. And they're like, they're just selling it and you have great content because they're actually engaging with you and starting a conversation. And that edits really well. Over in Belgium, it's a bit harder because, well, we have the language barrier. And it's kind of awkward doing it in English there, but now it's actually starting to turn more heads because I'm so used to it now. Doing it in English and just walking around and being like, and people are like, what's this guy doing walking around talking English the whole time? It's kind of weird, but I mean, like garage sales and stuff, I'll have my phone out and I'll just like, if I just film, and if they ask, I'm like, oh, I'm sending a picture to a buddy of mine to see if he wants to buy your stuff, because I never popped their heads in. I think even in Attic Invaders, I blurred out the faces of those people. So yeah,
I'll do that in garage sales, especially. That's definitely not something where I'm just gonna go full blown, like it's obvious that I'm filming. So I kind of use that excuse as well. And then even in some stores where I've gotten a little braver, like if I'm doing like a whole like store walkthrough, then I'll obviously ask permission. But if I'm just like filming certain things, like did I? Yeah, I made that video right where I bought like the Sonic the Hedgehog VHS, and like in that store I just kind of did quick things. Because I'm like, when I filmed like the GI Joe stuff, I was like, oh, my buddy's interested. Let me just take a few quick shots to send to him, which he was. I'm not like lying, but they don't need to know everything I'm doing with the footage.
Damn, Gina's eyeball is in the house, man. That's awesome. It's like one of the best punk rock bands in Belgium.
Awesome.
Probably just Tom, but he's awesome too. And we have another question from
attacking the city.
Can you guys see what's on the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so PD Dubs asked, what are your current Holy Grail items you still have not found? I guess for Greco, it's probably going to be a Transformer.
Holy Grail. Man, I've done so well. Actually, Ed, you like turtles. I like turtles. Sorry, that was really awkward. One thing that I would love to get is some of the original soft heads or the 10-back on card.
Yeah.
On card. And the opportunity's been there, but again, I got to get it for like a Greco-friendly price. I can't just like
Greco-friendly price.
So it hasn't come to fruition just yet. The closest I got, there was one guy on Facebook Marketplace where he had, and I don't know if they were soft head or hard head, and honestly, I don't know if I care. You can tell me as the turtle guy if I should care or not. But he definitely had, I think, the 4 turtles, maybe like a Splinter. And I think he had one more guy, maybe a Shredder or a Foot Soldier, all carded. And he was asking like $300, which isn't insane if you think there's 6 of them. So again, not crazy for what I've seen it go for. But I again, me being me, I offered him like half. But I do it in a nice way. I'm not like a jerk. I'm like, hey, if I always say like, if you're having trouble getting your asking price, this is what I would like to, be interested in it for. So if it works out, just follow up with me. And I'm not like, hey, jerk, you're never going to get what you want. You don't know anything about toys. Like, I don't take that approach. So unfortunately, like it kind of the whole experience of it was soured, and that kind of goes back to like people reacting differently to, as I mentioned in my newest video, like you never know how people are going to react to your offers. So it's always kind of scary when they're like, oh, why don't you make the first move? Because like in this case, the guy didn't respond to me at all, and then I wrote back to him and I was like, hey, I saw that it's sold to somebody else. Like I'm just curious, so that I can stay up to date with the market. Like, what did you end up getting for it, if you don't mind sharing? And he made like a snide comment about like, oh, I got $300 for just somebody that wanted it for their collection, not to resell. And I was like, oh, okay, buddy. I was like, first off, normally you would be right, but in this case, I actually wanted it. So you assume that you know what that makes you or us.
Okay. How about you, Craig?
I really want to get the Sextars Hive, that huge playset. Like I had it as a kid, but it is like super freaking rare. But I do want the box with it. I think that goes, I don't know, around maybe at 1,000, 1,100, something like that.
Really?
But, yeah,
I know a guy who has one in his attic.
Oh yeah.
And he said if you guys come over to Belgium, we can go over there.
Nice. That would be epic. So
don't know how you're gonna get it on the plane though, because it's
huge, man.
Huge. It's huge.
It's massive. But yeah, that's a grill. And then Eternia would be sweet too.
Oh,
and
me too. I want Eternia.
Scratch, Hotspot. That's a good.
You gotta aim lower though. Those are like everybody's grails.
Yeah, but that's what I want.
For me, it's kind of the same thing. Like turtle wise, I've been buying lots of vehicles, but actually don't have a lot of just characters like the rarer ones. Obviously, you have Hotspot and Scratch. I don't have them. I do want them loose, but I'm thinking just like guys like Anthrax, Monty Moose, the giraffe, the basketball playing giraffe. I don't have those, and I never come across them.
Yep, those are hard to find.
Those are grails for me now because I want to expand that universe and have them in toy form.
Because those are the like towards the end of the line, right? Like 94.
Yeah, of like the bricks.
Yeah,
the brick background. Later than and also like my grail now is actually that Turtle Saint. Have you heard about the Turtle Saint?
I don't think so.
Look it up. Super Mutants. So TMNT Super Mutants Turtle Saint.
Let me look it up.
It's like a Japanese anime. It wasn't like my top 5 worst TMNT figures.
Yeah.
And it was like the worst, but ever since finding out what actually expanded that line,
I see that.
It's so insane. It's so cool. I want that now.
That's cool.
Then do I have more questions? What's the greatest deal or find you've ever had? For me, it was finding 8 boxes of a stock from a video store, which were about 400 video games, which we bought for 80 euros in total. So
nice.
That was a good one for me.
It's honestly. Oh, sorry. Sorry, host. You direct the conversation. Gotcha. I'm on it.
Who's up? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The greatest deal. Yeah. So I have it actually on video on my channel, but about 3-4 years ago, I went down outside of Houston, and this guy had a barn full of G.I. Joe, complete in box, Star Wars, mask. I got all I don't know, probably 30 G.I. Joe vehicles, box and play sets, probably like 15 Star Wars play sets and vehicles, and maybe like 10 masks with probably over 100 figures for like $850. It was insane. Yeah. Insanity.
I never see Star Wars toys ever, like vintage.
Yeah, all vintage.
So $850, but for a car full of them.
Yeah,
And was this when you already had the Retro Madness store, or
Madness? But I bought it for myself.
But it would have been great stock, right?
It would have been, but I was like, nah.
If it did a safe. So wait, did they bring it into the store and you're just like, I got this?
No, it was my brother-in-law's friend. He had it and he knew that I was into this stuff. He was like, hey, I'm going to sell this stuff. And then after we made the deal and stuff, he was like, hey, I was just going to throw it away. I was like, holy crap. So yeah, it was insane. And I got some Nintendo stuff. I got a box Nintendo. I got a box Game Boy that I'm looking at. And a bunch of games too. So
Corona's at the door. Corona's at the door.
Throw it away. I love your sound effects, Craig. Like you got like a soundboard there.
He's like the joke man.
Right.
Mr. Worldwide.
So yeah, Greco, what's your you've had nothing but great deals and finds the last year.
God, when you find so many like I do, it's hard to pick a favorite.
The Motu one, damn.
Everybody
in Belgium was like,
that was insane.
And I feel like certain people hate me because it's like,
yeah,
they do actually. Because it's like, why out of anybody did the person who like really doesn't collect Motu find this? And for those of you that aren't familiar, I definitely made a video about it. But basically, I went to a flea market that's not really known for toys. It just pops up every once in a while. And I found a sealed Castle Grayskull, a sealed
Battle Bones.
Mosquitoer. Yep, sealed Battle Bones. Packaging was a little rough on Battle Bones. No, Battle Bones was good. Sorry. Let me finish. Battle Bones was good. The other thing was rough. I forget what it was. It's some other vehicle. Mosquitoer though, mint on sealed card. Then some like other things that nobody cares about so much. And I got like a great deal for it. I think like
there he is.
Yeah, but nobody wants a loose one. I think I paid like $300 for like that.
That's insane, dude.
Plus like an Alvin and the Chipmunks theater stage.
Oh,
worth it alone.
That's Sweden's the deal, man.
Humble brag right there. That I kept. Everything else, money.
Really?
Money.
Okay, that brings us to the next question. What's the main line of toys you collect, and what is your favorite toy line from your childhood? And is it connected to your childhood? Yes or no?
Yes, and yes.
Yes, and yes. Yeah. So what is it, Craig?
So my Trinity is Motu, TMNT, probably Ghostbusters. So that's all, and Star Wars too. But I collected and played with all that as a child, and I still do. So this year I just started picking up Ghostbusters. I put a pretty good dent in it, but there's no freaking toy shows for me to go to right now to get more, so that kind of sucks.
Oh man.
Way to bring the mood down.
Right?
We were just
I was feeling optimistic.
Yeah.
I was starting to enjoy life again.
For me, it's definitely anything I collect is from my childhood, or I wanted in my childhood. I haven't really run across anything that I didn't know about. Maybe the stuff that's on like the rarities, the one shelf. So that has like one figure of a toy line I think is cool, but I don't really collect for. So I just want like one toy, and everything else I just pop in my doubles and try to get rid of. But yeah, for me, main lines I collect for is TMNT, obviously, and Nintendo, Sega games, Master of the Universe, definitely a big one I'm collecting for, and Thundercats, Ghostbusters also, because whenever you're starting to collect TMNT and Motu, you end up finding those as well. Other toy lines I'm really into is Skeleton Warriors and Toxic Crusaders.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
I do want to beef up on my Toxic line too.
Such cool figures, and like only 10 figures in total, so definitely doable.
Yeah, Playmates did a good job.
How about you, Greco?
So everything in my collection, vintage-wise, does have. Oh, I was like, what are you pointing at? It might not be the same for the viewer, so you might just look like idiots. Everything in my collection, vintage-wise, it definitely has some sentimentality to me. Obviously, I'm very Transformers heavy. That's my number one, so I don't have to spend too much on that. But I mean, just looking around the room, I got like TMNT, Ghostbusters, some things that haven't been mentioned yet. We got Teddy Ruxpin up there with his pal Grubby.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon, big influence on me as a young woman. Pee-wee's Playhouse, Power Rangers. Let me just stand up a little bit. Got RoboCop in there, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast specifically. Just a little, little pieces here and there. And again, I don't think there's any line that I want to collect completely. I dabbled with the idea with G1 Transformers, and that's just like, in spite of all the success I've been having, it's not really. I got to a point where just like it's not a worthwhile goal for me anymore. Just to like, because there's so many figures, and especially when you get towards the end of the line, like who cares? So I've recently come to the conclusion that all I really want to focus on are the characters that appeared in the G1 American cartoon, with a few exceptions. So at least now I have a finish line, and I'm doing pretty well. And then just like random things like Shogun Warriors are cool. I don't need all of them, but I am keeping one like Great Mazinga that I'm working on.
That Godzilla.
This one right here? Oh, the Shogun one. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I like that one too, but yeah, that's yours.
This I got at a flea market, which I will make a video out of because I got the whole thing on camera.
Oh yeah.
Good deal there. Good deal. And then like getting away from vintage, I do buy newer stuff too, like some of the newer Transformers that are G1 inspired. I've really liked some of those. I got a Unicron coming, hopefully, as long as I keep those factories open and pumping them out.
Yeah, when is that going to come out? That
next
Unicron,
year, I don't know. And what else do I? Like I said, Pacific Rim. I mentioned like random things that kind of like catch my.
But Pacific Rim is pretty new, right? Or is that like a vintage cartoon?
No, that was new, but it was
new film, right?
Yeah. But it's still like inspired by
Jaegers,
kaiju, like that big giant robots, kind of in that same vein. So I'm not strictly, a vintage collector by any means, but I'm just nothing. Again, I'm just trying to kind of rein it all in. I don't want to get too overextended, and that's why I feel like if you keep your interests wide, then you won't go kind of broke or crazy. Just spending your money on everything. You can really afford to be patient and find those great deals, especially if you are like a flea market type of hunter.
Yeah. For me, like definitely it's flea markets or garage sales, or at least getting out there to experience the adventure of finding it, not just going online and clicking on it. Talking about going online and clicking on it, are you guys getting the pre-order?
The power is yours.
Are you guys getting the pre-order on the Kenner Classics Ghostbuster figures?
Yeah, I'll be scooping those up for sure.
I was gonna, but I kind of forgot about it. They look awesome. I want those.
I'm a sucker,
but it's a lot.
Yeah, I did not pre-order, but it might be the closest I get to like a carded, retro style Ghostbuster. So
definitely
I think I might have to go
ones. They're hella expensive, man.
Yeah.
Mikey's World asks, how do you place your toys in your room? It looks awesome in all your videos. I just pop it on top of each other, or I get like stuff from AliExpress, like little glass stands. Well, no, this is just plastic stands.
It's on your video.
To kind of pop them on. I don't know. Do you guys have any other tips to display toys?
Shelving, shelves, detops for your higher end figures that you don't want to get dust on. These IKEA shelves are great. They're like $60. I have I have 4 of them, and I have 1 not built. But I keep all my higher end stuff in that, and they're great. I love those. And then, like you said, 2 stands are like a must-have for. I need to order some for my turtles, actually.
And they're not that expensive, actually. Like
No.
the plastic stuff, you can get it, I guess, Amazon, Etsy. Get it for like $8-12, something like that.
Yeah, super cheap.
Yeah. You got any tips, Greco?
Well, me again, it's just I don't really have a rhyme or reason. It's kind of like trial and error. Like I do have a DTOF, and it does look great in there, but it's just trying to maximize the spacing, like the vertical spacing of it. So you might need some like risers and things like that, depending on what you're trying to display. So that it does give like a really nice professional look, and a lot of people love it, obviously, for that. But then for me, again, like I'm kind of like a cheap guy, so I'm not buying like hardcore shelving or anything. So a lot of like the stuff I've bought are just from like Target or like Walmart, just kind of things that looked okay. Like this one behind me, I think I ordered from Walmart. It was like $30. It wasn't anything special. It took like 2 seconds to put together. But again, my biggest challenge is just working with the space I have available to me.
Yeah.
It's literally one side of my bedroom. I have slanted like ceiling there, so I can't go too high. And there's literally like a punching bag right next to me. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I got to take into account, and like it's nerve wracking when people start going ham on this guy. So I feel I want to say like if I had an open canvas, like I'd really do wonders with my presentation here. But for now, it's just kind of just working with the space you have and trying to give your collection that moment in the sun. Because I was getting tired of things just like living in a closet or in storage.
Yeah, okay.
Because I want to show off the fruits of my labor,
Yeah, definitely.
Except my children, keep them in the attic.
So we got some more questions. We got what's the most treasured toy you still have from your childhood?
I don't have. Well, no, I take that back. I have a future video coming out as soon as we can get out of the house to go pick it up. So that'll be a little secret until later.
Okay. So yeah.
One thing left from my childhood.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's like not really a toy, but like a display that I got from the toy store I used to buy my turtles from.
Nice.
So it's a turtle display. I can't seem to find any other of these. Like no pictures available, but probably when I show it like in the room tour next week, people are gonna be like, I have that too. So I mean, yeah, that's it for me. Like, because that's been with me all my life. When I went to college, when I went to university, that was like in my my apartment as well. So I mean, turtles has always been around. So
yeah, that's awesome.
For me, I don't really have that much carryover, unfortunately, toy wise. It's funny because like I'm such like a Transformers nut, but I was born in the mid '80s when like I was born the year Transformers came out. So it's funny that like honestly in my childhood collection, it was probably more of like the end of G1, and maybe even to like G2. Even though now I just like have no interest in G2, so it's kind of funny that I'm that kind of G1 obsessed when you would say it was kind of like outside of my demographic. Because I was probably more of a '90s kid, honestly, growing up. So Turtles was right up there. So toy-wise, unfortunately, I don't think I have. I can't recall anything that kind of survived my childhood. Because we play hard, man. We play hard. I do remember I did hurt my cousin by kind of like hitting her with a die cast Optimus Prime. I think I gave her a nice little egg on the head with one of those guys. I forget the reason why. I'm sure it was a good one, but a few things that did survive my childhood though was more like video game centric. Like we were big. My uncle was big into gaming, and he brought us along with him. So we were a big like Sega family. So we'll have a lot of our like original consoles there. And then other stuff that kind of lasted was some like home laser tag sets, which are really cool. So it's not the old like Worlds of Wonder. That was again before my kind of time. But even though I'm collecting that now too randomly, But some of the like laser challenge sets, like we went pretty hardcore with it too. It wasn't just like the small little vest here. It's the ones that like it was like like a suit. There's just like lots of rubber, galvanized rubber that you put on. You had to have the front and back sensor with like the attached gun, and like you could put in codes for different modes, and you would have like a base station that would keep score. So like I was really big into laser tag. I still want to play laser tag now, but nobody cares. Nobody cares around me. I tried to have like my birthday party be at like laser tag, but nobody wants to be my friend anymore.
Like a question, like or like a comment I sometimes get when I talk about like Master of the Universe stuff is people being like pissed that I collected because I wasn't born then. But I mean, what they maybe don't understand is Master of the Universe came out later in Europe than it did in America, and also I got so many toys handed down.
Yeah, hand-me-downs. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I played with Grayskull like all of my childhood. I played with the Snake Man and all those. So it's like, okay, the TV show wasn't on TV anymore, but I mean, I love those figures. I guess it's the same thing with Greco, because like you said, like G1s were already over, but that's what you got. I mean,
well, I think like at least the cartoon. Like, and a lot of these toy lines I was introduced to because it had like a cartoon kind of associated with it.
Yeah.
And I do remember probably a big factor that came into that is renting them from Blockbuster. Like I vividly remember like renting the VHS tapes of Transformers. So having those and like I do remember they used to rerun episodes of the G1 cartoon on like Sci-Fi Channel, which I don't even know if that's still a thing anymore.
I know we got reruns from the Transformer cartoon when like Rescue Rangers, Captain Planet, and like Rambo the animated series was on. That was like Saturday morning for me. So I actually got like later releases of Transformers, but also like a blue Grimlock, so a G2.
Oh yeah.
So that was the stuff I was getting when I was a kid. Yeah. I don't know where you stand on that topic, Craig. So,
with what was the question again?
But like people like calling you out for like you weren't even born then when that toy came out. How could you be nostalgic about it?
I don't think anybody's ever said anything. That's pretty stupid, but you know.
I don't. It's true though. I don't like any hobbyists that like try to exclude people. Everyone has their own reasons for
gatekeepers.
Yeah, everyone has their own reasons for collecting.
Yeah.
Even if it's passing, even if again you want to test this whole YouTube thing out, just do what you're passionate about in the moment.
Yeah.
And then if it fades away, then so be it. It doesn't mean like you're any less like of a collector.
No, collect what you like. Yeah,
just stay out of my way.
I get like people that are like 17 and 18 coming up to me at toy shows now, being like, "I watch your videos and I collect Thundercats." And it's like, awesome,
nice.
You know?
That's cool.
Talking from old to new, are we looking forward to the new Ghostbusters movie and the toys that will eventually come out for that movie?
Movie, yeah, for sure. And then toys, we'll have to see what they look like. From the new movie.
Too.
So
it'll have to be a pretty good movie for me to want something out of that.
I mean, I'm a sucker for like all the ghosts and monsters and stuff, so that would probably be a thing for sure. But as far as like figures and stuff, we'll have to see.
Yeah, toy wise, like not toys, movie wise, I am excited for the movie. I do like the trailer. I know some critics are like, "Oh, it's just like Stranger Things."
Yeah,
Ghostbusters edition, but I am pretty excited about what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna, I think it's, if you want to follow the lineage as far as like who is it? Was it Jason Reitman that wrote and directed it?
Yeah.
So it's kind of staying in the family for whatever that's worth. I mean, if he's not a good writer director, then it doesn't matter that who his dad was. But but it's kind of cool. So I'm curious to see how they kind of pay homage to the originals. So movie wise, I'm excited to see it, but and toy wise, again, well, I think it would have to be something again, kind of super nostalgic or really awesome for me to like want to grab it. just because I'm really again, trying to draw that line as far when new toys are concerned.
So this is gonna be the third movie, right?
Yes. Well,
Like, is this like in the line? Is this
in
gonna
that
be
line,
the
yeah.
third?
Yeah, because they're not counting the 2016 one, so this will be the third one. Yeah.
Because I think Bill Murray signed up to do like a small role, so I'm
He
kind of
did?
excited about that. And
Yep,
like,
very excited.
I don't think I'm
There's-
gonna buy new toys unless there's like a really cool character in
Yeah.
there.
or one that you
yeah,
can resell.
Right.
right.
Scalp.
You
Do you know how many Red Hulks I've sold? Just kidding.
know? So Patrice asked,
JK.
how do we keep our collections dust free? I
I
don't.
don't.
Very hard.
Get white cases because you don't see dust on that. If you
True.
get black cases, it's ruined. Most of my room has like dark brown cupboards, or what do you call it? And it's horrible. Like, yeah, but yeah, like, what do I use?
Well, like in my case,
I clean
in
it,
my
like,
case, we have what? Who? What?
go ahead,
Where?
go ahead.
In my case, we have like dogs, so there's hair everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a losing battle. So, I am starting to dive into the world of acrylics. I did see somebody mention that they make their own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to explore that. Not so much I don't need anything graded. I'm not really diving into toy grading. So I don't need it like sealed off per se. But now that I'm getting more box stuff, I do want it to more preserve the integrity of that box stuff more than anything. And I guess one benefit it would be keeping the dust out. So I'm just kind of dipping my toe into the waters there. There's not that many companies that sell, or at least that I found that sell like just the cases themselves. That are, I know there's a few out there. And I've tried some of the big names. One guy I won't give a plug yet, just um, because I'm not completely sold. I am impressed by his customer service though, so it'll be coming. But I'm kind of giving a lower level guy a shot. And we'll see how that goes. But I am like, you can't see it, and this case wasn't made for Pee Wee, but he is in an acrylic case right here. This is actually made for, it's supposed to be for a G1 jet, but it's actually just a little too tight. So the guy is remaking it. And so I'm gonna start messing with acrylics, and hopefully that'll solve some of those issues. I guess when dust is concerned, it's pretty expensive though. So I mean, that's just another thing to throw money away on.
So, what was the first toy series you started to collect? Nerd Strategy asks. For me, it's TMNT. For you?
I remember like, I don't know, like 83, 84 when Return of the Jedi came out. I was like 3. I do remember going every week to the department store to get a new figure from that line. So I guess Star Wars for me. Yeah.
Okay. Greco?
I mean, my memory from, I mean, I've already kind of dabbled on like childhood growing up a little bit, so that all still applies. So I'm trying to remember now, like when I was basically reinvigorated as an adult collector. So it all started when, this sounds like it's a long story, but it's not. It all started back in the summer of 1984. No, I think so. My interest in the hobby and collecting, it was reinvigorated when I went, I think, back to like a flea market for the first time, and I kind of saw like what people had out there. And you'll see it even in the history of my YouTube channel. Like I started doing more comic books
Mm-hmm.
to start out with, so that was one thing that I kind of got back in touch with growing up as I grew up from my childhood. And then again, I mean, I'm sure if I go back into my catalog, I can find that one toy line where it really sparked it. And I want to sound like a broken record because like G1 Transformers obviously is a thing, but I think it was just just that whole experience, just going back to the flea market and finding things that you forgot about, and they kind of sparked just another connection. They kind of like made flared up some synapses in your brain and jogged some memories and attributed it to some fun memories. I think that's the whole kind of reason about why I do all this, which isn't really the question, but it's just it's just you know what I mean. I just don't want to keep saying Transformers for everything, but I'm sure that was the actual answer.
But if you were forced to keep and collect only one line of toys, which one would it be?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Transformers.
Ed, to go first.
Oh man, TMNT. Yeah, that's
hard. That's hard.
It's really hard, but
My vintage solid wood Mancala collection.
Man,
it can be only one, Craig.
I got this as a Christmas gift. I don't know why. I mean, the thought is nice.
Toy line. Jesus, it would have to be either Motu or TMNT, but Motu came out when I was a lot younger, like you said, Ed, and I had it, of course, but I remember playing with TMNT the most, so probably TMNT. There's a lot to collect too. I don't think it would get too stale. So,
like this live stream.
Yeah.
It's fun for us. I don't know about everybody else. No.
So what did you pick?
TMNT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
TMNT team, go.
Go.
Yeah.
Red team, go.
So, how do you store your collections? Just in bins, cardboard boxes.
Boxes.
Yeah, I've been upgrading. Like I mentioned it, I think pre-live, but loose collections again to clear off some shelving space because I had a bunch of loose Transformers. Started buying some of those small blister packs, just to instead of just having them loose and strewn about everywhere, or like individually wrapped in bubble wrap. I don't know why I said that. Like it sounded all hoity-toity. Like I'm not making fun of anybody, but it just felt like I had to present it that way for some reason. And then putting that inside of like a plastic bin is probably like the ideal right now. But yeah, more like other box stuff is probably just in cardboard boxes and plastic bags and strewn all over the place. I've kind of outgrown my abode, so I got a storage unit too. So it will not be divulging the information of that location because I will get robbed.
Robbed.
Jack.
So are Pops the new Beanie Babies? I don't know. Kind of.
I feel like they have already had a longer shelf life.
Yeah,
I remember.
I think Funko's kind of.
But they ventured into different things though. Funko. You know, they got the cereal. They got the Motu kind of characters.
Yep. 5.5.
Oh yeah, like Thundercats. Yep. Like the Motu line is Funko. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to dip off. This is my
I think we're gonna end the stream because we don't have any more time. But yeah, guys, leave down in the comments below if you want to see us do another stream, and then maybe we can find an hour that suits us, and we'll do it again because this was fun, guys.
It was fun. It was fun for sure.
Just another way to kill some time.
Yeah. I mean, we're all just stuck at home. So yeah, definitely thanks so much to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
The questions were awesome. So we couldn't get everyone in, but hopefully next time we'll be a bit more prepared.
Yeah.
All right.
First time.
Yeah,
I think we did pretty good.
I think so.
I love that.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to Greco. Subscribe to Narc if you haven't already. And if you're new to my channel, you can also subscribe. So yeah. Thanks so much. Big bye to everybody, and we'll talk in the after end broadcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Later. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Thanks for being my friend.